Hi everybody! Today we will be doing something called Book Talks. I'm going to talk to you about some of my favorite books. And all of these books have a few things special in common, but the main thing is that they're written by a special writer. Her name is Carol Boston Weatherford. She writes biographies and nonfiction books that talk about inspiring African Americans. She's inspired me and I know she will inspire you as well. The first book we're going to talk about today is Schomburg, The Man Who Built a Library. It tells the story of author Arturo Schomburg, a Black American who lived in Harlem, and he collected everything that he could about Black history. He felt that if he collected everything about Black history, everyone would have a chance to know about their whole history and not just some history. He collected so many books, the New York Public Library bought his collection, and now they have a special branch in Harlem called the Schomburg Center for African American Studies. I love this story because it shows us how much Schomburg contributed to our culture using books. Schomburg also said in his book, in the introduction of the book, "The American Negro must remake his past in order to make his future. History must restore what slavery took away." So I really love Arturo Schomburg. He's one of my favorite people because he loved to collect books just as much as I do. I think that if you are a history fan, if you love books as much as I do, you would love this book. It's very colorful and it's written in verse, so everything looks like a poem on all of the pages. It's very fun to read, and I'm sure you will enjoy learning about Arturo Schomburg. If you do, just let me know and I'll have a copy for you in the library. I know you guys love going to New Orleans. I do too. When I was growing up, I used to know a place called Congo Square. Oh wait, I still know it. It's a place in New Orleans where slaves used to gather on their free day, which was Sundays. The book Freedom in Congo Square, written by the same author of course, is a book that tells the story about what the slaves did to get to that Sunday. Every day they had to work, but in the back of their mind, they knew that they were going to get to Congo Square. The book is awesome. It's written as a poem, it's very musical, and the pictures are awesome. You get to see what slaves had to endure every day before their day off. Another thing that you learn in the book is that the state of Louisiana, the state of Louisiana was the only state in the Union that allowed slaves a free day off, and that was Sunday. Every page in this book rhymes. And my favorite part of the book tells us about on Sunday when they actually got to Congo Square. They rejoiced as if they had no cares, half day, half free in Congo Square. This piece of earth was a world apart. Congo Square was freedom's heart. And I know a lot of you guys love going to New Orleans, and if you've seen Congo Square or if you've heard of it, I know they have concerts over there. You would love to know the history behind it. This book will be awesome for you. It's Freedom in Congo Square, and one last thing, it's a Caldecott Award-winning book and a Coretta Scott King Award-winning book for its awesome poetry and its awesome pictures. So if you would like to check this book, let me know and I'll have it in the library for you. I'm going to be talking about biographies again, and this is one of my favorite people as well. Her name is Fannie Lou Hamer, and the book is called Voice of Freedom, Fannie Lou Hamer, Spirit of the Civil Rights Movement. I know it's a long title, but she deserves it all because she was an awesome person. Fannie Lou Hamer was from Mississippi, which is right next door to us. She grew up the child of two former slaves, and she learned the hard way about life in Mississippi. One of the things that she did in her life was stand up for her rights. She did that by trying to get rights to vote, as well as standing up for civil rights in her state. She is known right now as a hero in her state, and this is why Miss Weatherford wrote the book. This book is also written in verse, and as you'll see with a lot of the books that I'm reviewing for Miss Weatherford, that she likes to write in verse. She likes to write poetry. It captures the life of Fannie Lou Hamer from when she was a child, when she only had a couple of hours to go to school to learn to read because she had to pick cotton, to whenever she grew up and she was beaten up and thrown in jail because she had wanted to vote. And when she went to the state capitol so she could vote, she had to do all kinds of things to vote. She had to learn how to say her name a certain way and spell certain things and learn certain things about history that no one knew. It was troubling to her. And she said one thing that everyone knows her for, and maybe you've heard it before. And this is a piece of the book that I love the most. It says, "I made it plain why I joined the movement. All my life I've been sick and tired. Now I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired." Fannie Lou Hamer is one of my favorite people, and if you want to learn more about her, we have her book in the library as well. Do you remember Jesus' Sermon on the Mount? I do. He talked about blessings, which were called the Beatitudes. And the name of this book is called The Beatitudes, From Slavery to Civil Rights. As you already know, African Americans have used the Bible and religion to help them during their journey, from slavery to right now. We also do it as well at this school. We believe that God is in the hand of everything, and everything that we do is guided by God. This book is telling you the same exact thing. It takes us on a journey from when the first slave came here to Harriet Tubman to Barack Obama. It tells us the stories of famous African Americans who made their impact on our civil rights. One of my favorite things of the book is that it's written in verse. And I hope you notice that a common theme of Miss Weatherford's work is that everything is written in verse. She loves using poetry to tell stories. And in this book, she's done the same thing. One of my favorite stories in the book, or parts of the verse, of course, is about Marian Anderson. And I know we spoke about her before, but I'm going to just let you hear this so you can see how much I love it. "I was with Marian Anderson when she sang spirituals on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial after the Daughters of the American Revolution barred her from performing in their concert hall. I was the microphone." Whenever Jesus is here with us, he takes part of something. He was the microphone. And that's the basis of this book. God is in everything that we do. And he's in everything that we do in this book. He's in everything that we do as African Americans. And he's in everything that we do anywhere. I love this book. I know that you guys will enjoy it. So if you would like to check it out, just let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed the book talks. I really enjoyed sharing these books with you. I just wanted to go quickly back to Carol Boston Weatherford so you can remember her whenever you come back to the library. She writes tons of books about African Americans. She also writes stories about the history of African Americans. She writes often in verse. She's won tons of awards, and she teaches us about ourselves by teaching us about our history. That's the most important thing.